Hello, I'm Des Shipp. Now I've got Jake behind the camera. He's going to ask me 10 questions. I haven't got a clue what they are, but I'm going to answer them as truthfully as I can. Right, Jake, fire away. Biggest match, mate, where and when? Well, that was at Todburn Manor, and we all know Todburn Manor was, and it still is, like absolutely massive weights. And I think it was probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I caught 500 pound on Ash Lake, and that was a lot of fish on that lake because they were smaller. And I actually caught on a bit of meat mush with a little bit of match method mix around it, and I caught on a top kit in 1, a top kit in 2 down the edge in 3 foot water, and I fished with like 7mm meat on the hook. I had just over 500 pound, which is absolutely insane. And I don't think I'll probably ever break my PB there. A lot of people broke their PB match weights at Todburn Manor. But anyway, that's that first question done and dusted. Next, Jacob, come on. That's hard because there's lots of venues I love fishing. I can't really pick one out. I just love venues where I can catch a mixed net of fish, so like quality silvers, some carp, and I love venues where you can catch those silvers and maybe an odd carp in between, and then you can get out of trouble fishing down the edges late on. So I'm not naming one venue. There's several venues that I love fishing, winter time and summertime for some, and some of them. But yeah, that's what I love fishing. Those venues where I got a mixture of fish and I can get out of trouble fishing down the edge for them great big fish at the end. Number 3, favorite style of pole fishing. Well, that has to be, again, I love fishing for silverfish. I mean, I do a lot of carp fishing. I do quite a lot of F1 fishing, loads of feeder fishing. I just love pole fishing when there's not, November time, all through the winter when the silverfish fishing is still good. Fishing with ground bait, fishing on it, past it, cupping in maggots and pinkies, worms. And I think, I must say, my favourite bit is getting the worm bomb and fishing with like dead maggots and worms on the hook. I don't think you can beat it. I absolutely love it, and I just get a massive buzz about getting out of bed to do it. Favorite style of rod fishing? Waggler. We don't do it. Even that duck's he's happy about that. I don't think you can beat it. I think waggler on the right day, whatever baits you're fishing with. We don't do it so much nowadays, like I said, but when you can, I don't think there's any better way of fishing. That's easy. There's a couple, actually, Jake. I would say overshotting when I can't catch on it. When it's solid and I'm getting one to chuck, it seems to be okay. But yeah, it's got to be overshotting, and probably a little bit of bomb fishing in the winter when you're fishing for carp and there ain't none in front of you. So that's my least 2 things that I think can be a bit, not so good. Biggest angling achievement? Well, that has to be fishing for England that has to be number 1, really. Fishing for your country, fishing at that highest level, a lot of stress that comes with that. Winning some gold, team medals. I mean, in Italy and countries like that, that is the biggest achievement. And then obviously I've got my own achievement, like winning the Park Dean final, winning that sort of money like that. I don't care what anyone says, winning that sort of amount of money is brilliant, and so I say England first, Park Dean final second. That's pretty easy, Jake. Say favourite Sonubait ground bait or product has to be Match Method Mix. I think it was the first ground bait that I got involved in when Sonu actually become a company, and it just catches loads of fish. It's iconic. It's been there from day one. I still use it a hell of a lot, even though there's loads of other ground baits on the market now. But if you speak to a lot of people, Match Method Mix is the first out of their van, especially when you're fishing for carp on the method feeder, you know, down the edges where you're not quite sure what to use. So yeah, Match Method Mix it is for me. Oh, well, you'd have to be in it, Jake. All-time team of 4 anglers. Well, I'd put myself in, I think. Will Raisin, 100%. If it was on a commercial, I'd have myself, Will, Jamie Hughes, and Andy May. Because whatever happens, you'd have a laugh, wouldn't you? You might not win, but you'd have a laugh. My biggest angling edge? That's a real good question, Joe. I don't know where you got that one from. I think thinking outside of the box sometimes. I think like having that little throwaway line, and I've done it recently at Whiteacres, and I fed casters on what they call Python Lake, and I fished a top kit to hand because there was loads of little roach in there and they're a bit of a pain. And as it happens, that become my best line, and I caught big F1s and carp on it. And I think, you know, it is one rig, and I think that's probably my edge, is I do think a little bit outside, you know, I'll just set one of those little rigs up for that, and I think that's probably my biggest edge. Yeah, and being smooth and, you know, getting your thing set up, I think, you know, that's another one. But yeah, that throwaway line on a lot over the years, festivals, you know, open matches and things like that, I think that's my edge. My goals for 2026, well, to stay alive would be quite nice. I think just doing what I'm doing, really. I'm definitely gonna pick and choose a little bit more of these. There's lots of competitions in the UK now. You know, there's silverfish competitions, qualifiers, you get through to finals. And I think that's what I'm, maybe not so, you know, I'm just gonna do my normal stuff, which I enjoy. And that's a really important thing, is try and enjoy what you're doing. But I think, yeah, I'm just gonna try and concentrate, maybe not so much in the summer months, but when I get into them winter months, there's some real good surface. You know, you've got the Sailfish Masters, you've got the Angling Trust, you've got the Fish South. You know, there's other competitions as well, and pick and choose what I want to do at certain times of year. So that's my goal for 2026. Well, that's some good questions, Jake, and now I'm waiting for a bite. So anyway, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from myself, Jake, and everyone at Sonubaits. Have a great 2026.